What is up, guys? It is Turtles 420 Roast. Trying to get myself acquainted. Back again with another video, of course. And, I don't know if you guys can tell. Fuck. Sorry about that. I don't know if you guys can tell, but, I'm a tiny bit, hungover. I'm trying to nurse a fucking mild hangover right now. I'm drinking hot coffee with... No, what the fuck? I'm fucking hungover. I'm drinking hot chocolate with a little bit of coffee in there for the caffeine. And so yeah, I'm just trying to nurse myself back to health after yesterday. So yeah, yesterday was pretty unexpected. I worked with like all my favorite coworkers yesterday, and it wasn't planned or anything, but out of nowhere. It started with just two people, me and my female coworker who, smokes bud. And she said that she had some bud, and I was like, yeah, like, jokingly, like, yeah, where it at, though? And she's like, you down? Like, fuck, you get smoke right after work, because, we're close together. And then all of a sudden, my other coworker, he fucking... he overhears the conversation. He doesn't smoke weed, but he hears and he's like, "Oh, you guys down to kick it?" And he's like, "Oh, you guys gonna kick it after?" And I'm like, "Yeah." "Why you ain't down to smoke?" And he's like, "I don't smoke, but I'll bring some drinks." And we're like, "Oh shit, all right, fuck it. Let's like if you gonna bring the drinks." And then the other coworker, which works cash register and shit, he overhears too, and he's like, "Yo, I guess he tried to kick it too." So then basically almost everybody who closed that night ended up fucking hanging out after work. The fucking coworker that brought the drinks surprisingly brought like a good variety. Like, we just mentioned Jaeger because that was the female coworker's favorite drink, and I like Jaeger too, so I was like, I'm gonna get Jaeger. I mean, I was like, get anything you can. He's like, all right. Next thing you know, he fucking pulls up with a bottle of Jaeger, 750 milliliter bottle of Jaeger. Pulls up with a flask full of fucking Absolute vodka, and then like Jose, I think it was like tequila. Yeah, he brings tequila as well. And I was just like, fuck, it's just an assortment of drinks. And then we had a little bit of weed. We didn't have that much, but it was definitely enough to get a couple people lit. So we was just smoking and drinking, literally having a blast. Like, I haven't had this much fun with coworkers since the last job I worked at. It was a nice little, touch of fellowship, I guess, if you want to call it that. It was very fun, but I definitely felt it the next day. I'm just glad I didn't have to work today, I got the day off today and tomorrow, so, I'm big chilling. Yeah, other than that, by the title of the video, you guys probably realized, what I'm going to be talking about today. And what I'm going to be talking about today is my experience with diphenhydramine. Now, diphenhydramine is a first generation antihistamine. It treats a variety of ailments like nausea. It helps with insomnia because it does have sedative qualities in large amounts. It's like basically an allergy medicine. First is an allergy medicine. A bunch of other stuff that other benefits it has are just kind of like secondary. So yeah, it's pretty cool drug. I like it for when you use it for what it's supposed to be used for. Now, in my day, I have used diphenhydramine for recreational purposes. Now, usually I use it for the potentiation of... I would use it in the past to potentiate benzos or opioids, kratom, or anything of that, caliber that makes you drowsy, because I like to nod off, It's just like, I like to fight the nod. Like not as much anymore, but that was my thing. Like, I love to, fight the nod. I feel like it's like one of the best feelings ever when you're falling asleep, like you're literally passing out and you're fighting to stay awake. That's like literally the best. But yeah, that's usually what I would use it for. I did try to use it recreationally at one point when I was like fucking 13, and I just started fucking like just started getting into experimenting with drugs, and I took like 200 milligrams my first time, and I just remember feeling super sleepy. That was about it. Like I didn't really experience anything, and after that, I didn't do anything with it. And then my first recreational experience with diphenhydramine, or deliriant for that fact, was about earlier this year, 2018, and this is when I had a pretty bad addiction to etizolam. I was buying a shit ton of this stuff. I was literally buying it by the hundreds and just fucking eating over, literally in one night. I'm at my fucking hardest. I think I ate 15 milligrams in one night. So yeah, I was pretty fucking deep into that shit. And yeah, this happened at a time when I was like, I had like fucking no weed. I forget why. I think I smoked it all, and then the homie wasn't going to the shop until like a certain day, so I was just like, stuck in my head, no weed and a bunch of pills. So I remember I was on like 10 milligrams of etizolam. No, I was on 5 milligrams of etizolam at first, and then I popped like 2 more milligrams, so I was on 7. And then that's when I was like, I was basically trying to knock out. So the next thing I remember doing was popping, Benadryls. And these are the generic 25 milligrams diphenhydramine. They look just like Benadryls, but they're, generic. And I remember buying them off of, I had like a bottle with like 500 of them or 600 of them in there. So, I had a lot. And I just remember my memory was shot to shit from the benzos, so I had not realized how much I was taking, and before you knew it, I took enough to start feeling the deliriant effects. So this could have been anywhere from, I think, around 13 pills. Like, I literally lost track of how many of these pills I was taking. I was not, like, I honestly, God, I was not trying to trip. I literally, like, the day before, I had an acid trip, and I just was not, trying to trip again. I was trying to just get fucked up. And the next thing you know, I start to see, the deliriant effects. It started with the gnats, the spiders. Well, no, not spiders at first. First it was gnats. Lots of gnats. And, like, it looked so fucking real. It was like, if you ever seen a nest of gnats, like, in the air, like, just flying around, it looked exactly like that. The body feeling was very odd. I started feeling kind of light. Kind of like when a psychedelic starts to hit you and you start feeling kind of floaty. I did feel that, the floatiness. I started seeing color changes in the walls. Like, I would see kind of like a rainbowish trout, like fish scale overlay. It looked like little fish scales on the wall with rainbow coloring. Very similar to acid, like that coloration. So that's why I first thought I was having like acid flashbacks or some shit. But then something started happening that was not very reminiscent of acid, and that is I started to see very, very trippy distortions in the objects around me. Like I don't know what the fuck it is, but like there's a strip on the side of, like cut, like you see up there, like just look up there. You see these, like, just the corner strips. Now imagine the corner strip just starts to fucking float off of its position and then come at you with like green and orange and blue tentacles, and then it starts to rotate in front of you, and as soon as you blink your eyes, it starts to go back. And it was the trippiest shit ever, because it was like, even if I closed my eyes, I could still see this, like, in blinking, and this thing would just go back. It wouldn't just disappear. It would go back once I started blinking. It was the trippiest. Like, I knew it was not on acid, because I've never seen some shit like that on acid. When you're tripping on acid, like, the visuals are just more like, how do I explain it? Like, nonchalant, like they're just there, but you never see, maybe depending on the dose, but I'm the hardest I've ever dosed was 200 micrograms of acid. I've never seen some shit like that. Like, the craziest shit I think I've probably seen is just like very, very cool, like distortions in the ground and, you know, gears and stuff like that. But this felt different, very different. And afterwards, then I started seeing the spiders. And let me tell you about them spiders. It was like basically spider ticks. Like they're fat spiders that look almost like ticks. So you would see these kind of crawl around on the wall. I'd only see like one at a time. I never saw a lot of them, like colonies or anything. And then I started to see like jellyfish, kind of like weird jellyfish creatures that would like shoot towards my face, touch me, and then just disappear. Like it was kind of fun at first. I'm not gonna lie. And the Tizzle lime kind of helped with the anxiety. So you know, I was like, "Ooh, this is fun." Yeah, that went on for a little bit, and then I started to kind of feel like I was coming down. So I was like, fuck, I want to keep tripping. So then I proceeded to eat like fucking 4 more pills or some shit. Yeah, I don't know how many milligrams I was at. I'm definitely thinking I've definitely breached over 300 milligrams, and I was closing in on 400 or more. Yeah, then after that, I remember just feeling, that's when the dread, you know, started to kick in. Once I took more, like at first it was, you know, there wasn't really no dread. It was kind of fun. Like it was just like, you know, being able to just kind of trip, seeing the walls sweat like jelly, kind of very similar to when I candy flipped and I would see the melting like jelly, almost like sweat jelly. It's like the walls are sweating. Yeah. So that, you know, the beginning it was fun, but then it started to get real fucking dark. Like I think the first thing that really fucked me up was you know, I would see Windows XP and it almost looked like TV, like the TV was playing on the wall, and that was funny. But then I started looking at the walls more, and then I would start to see people, like it almost looked like shadow people with like really like bright fucking, you know, eyes, like white eyes, would just start looking at me through the wall. Like it felt like people were watching me through the wall, and they would start to whisper to each other like, I don't know what the fuck they were saying, but they would start to whisper to each other. Then I would blink my eyes and shake my head, look back, and they'd be gone. But then when I started, like, kept looking at the walls, they would appear again, the same fucking people. It felt really, really fucking eerie, guys. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I started to panic a little bit, but then I started to realize, you know, like remind myself, I'm tripping, I'm on a substance, I'm gonna be fine, you know. This is just the trip. And so yeah. My fucking throat's fucked up. Sorry about that, guys. My throat's fucked up from drinking all yesterday. We didn't really have chases, so we were basically just shooting fucking shots and drinking water to chase it down. Like, my throat's fucked up. So yeah, I started to see that, and then I started to see people walk around in my room, like kind of like walk through me, like without noticing me, and like kind of like shadows. Like there was like shadows. I almost feel like, imagine like busy street with a very like alright, this is the best way I can explain it. So you know how when you look at like in movies like busy, like when they pan out to like the city and people are walking and, you know, going to work and stuff like that, like everyone's just passing by each other, like that kind of like scenery that was going on inside of my room. The difference was that everyone was so like opaque, like they were so kind of like ghostly. So it was almost like there was like I was stepping into like another dimension where people were just walking by me, but I was the only one able to see them. They weren't able to see me, and they would just walk past me, like, you know, doing their business. And I was like, bro, this is fucking weird. Another thing I started seeing is phantom hands. Like my hands would be down, you know, to my sides, kind of like right here, and next thing I know, you know, and then I start texting, and then I'm texting, looking up videos, looking up, like, it was hard to text. I just remember that, like, I think I was texting people, and it was very hard to text. And then I would look, and then, you know, it was really hard to text. And then next thing you know, I would look away for a second and look back at the phone, and my hand would be gone. And then I'd realize that my phone was charging on the side, and this whole time my hands were, you know, here, chilling. So I literally was hallucinating myself, texting people and stuff, and having conversations with people over text. It was really fucking odd, but I would laugh it off. But whoa, I'm tripping. And a lot of times I would see more phantom hands, kind of like my hands, kind of just like come up, and like you would see my hand on the side, kind of like doing this, and then I'd look at it, and then it'd be gone. I'm like, what the fuck? Another one is I saw one of my friends walk into my room and walk out without saying a word. Like, just walked in, looked at him, and then he just walked back out. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm tripping. I never had any conversations with people because I was just so like I knew I was tripping like the whole time, so I just didn't talk to anything or anyone. Like, I didn't talk at all. Like, seriously, I was just silent. I was just like a silent watcher, an observer, like an observer into this weird, fucked up, twisted world that I was, launched into. So yeah, so the whole night was basically seeing a bunch of jelly creatures, spider ticks, ghost people in the walls, watching movies on my wall because shit would just project up on there. Not once did I decide to go outside because I was fucking scared that I would. And one of my fears is that I would look too fucked up, and I'd get pulled over or something. So yeah, because basically when you're on the delirium, it's almost like you're going into psychosis, or into like a really bad schizophrenic psychosis. So it's not fun, and it doesn't look good. So the whole time I was on my bed, I remember feeling too like almost like a tiny sharp pain in my chest, like I don't know, like vasoconstriction is the only way I could like compare it to. Like, I felt very vastly constricted. It was hard to pee. Like, you could, like, the hallucinations on your face, like, you could see, like, almost like, it looks like I was aging, like, fast. Like, hair looked weird, like, it would, like, my face would be covered in hair, and then it would go away, like, I don't know, like, it was just fucked up. Yeah, basically, when the trip was over, I was so happy. And I think throughout the night, too, I started dosing more Etislam, and I went up to 10 milligrams. So, because I started feeling really uneasy, and I was like, shit, I need more anxiety medication. One thing I remember is sleeping very good, which is nice, because when it was time to go to sleep, I was like, I can't, I knew that when you sleep, your brain basically resets your mind, and, stops the trip. So, I was eager to go to bed, because I was just like, I want this shit to be over. So yeah, that's my experience with diphenhydramine for recreational purposes. Would I recommend it? Fuck no. It was different. Like, I'm somebody who's used to, tripping on acid, tripping on shrooms. Like, those are just so classic, and they're much easier on you if you don't abuse them. But shit, deliriance is just a different game. Like, during the whole experience, there was no euphoria. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was just like psychosis. Like, it was like watching a horror movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it was. It was like watching a horror movie. That's the best way I can explain it. Like, when you do acid or shrooms, it's like watching the greatest adventure movie ever. But when you do delirious, you're literally, the experience of watching a horror movie. It's the best way I can explain it. It was just so fucked up and weird. But yeah, so basically, if you're gonna abuse OTC medicine, which I do not condone, because I don't condone any drug use for that matter. But if you're gonna use any OTC medication, guys, I would start off with dextromethorphan. That's literally like the best way to start off, and it's a legal dissociative. I love dissociatives. I'm a big fan. I just don't like the body load that it gives you, like the inability to walk and shit. But you know what? I'd rather have that than look like I'm under the influence of schizophrenia or some shit. So yeah, guys. Hope you guys are doing good. Hope you guys are doing well. I know I am. I'm doing very well. Besides the fucking hangover I got right now, and I'm just nursing it back to health, basically. Hope you guys continue to watch my videos, continue to subscribe, continue to like, all that good stuff. Comment. Tell me if you guys would like to comment, what was your diphenhydramine experience like? Because I know it varies from person to person, but if it's very similar. Like, no matter who you talk to, almost everybody sees the spider ticks. Some people have phantom cigarettes. Some people see the jellyfish, and the phantom people. They see people that they know. You know what I'm saying? So it's just so interesting that diphenhydramine is very similar. Like, even the people who've never read up on it and then do it, the experience is almost the same, just with their own little twist on it. And I believe, like, I believe that deliriants open the doors for a dark universe that we haven't been able to study very methodically, I guess. So yeah, that's what I believe. I believe deliriants are like that. It's a different ball game with them. So yeah, hope you guys have a good day. Hope you guys have a wonderful, blessed week, for that matter. I don't know when I'm gonna upload again. Probably like next week, maybe. It depends. I have to come up with something to talk about, right? And yeah. So bye, guys. Peace, love, and tranquility.